Hi. Well, a couple of my friends have said that maybe I should talk about God on YouTube. So I'm going to try. But it's really for God, so it'll be up to Him. Anyway, what I've been studying lately is letters that were written by a monk named Brother Lawrence about 300 or 400 years ago. And it's called The Practice of the Presence of God, the Best Rule of a Holy Life. And what happened was this monk, he was in the war and he got wounded and he got sent home to his family in France. And he became very depressed. He felt like he could never do anything right. And he did not understand why he was on earth. What was the purpose? So he went off into the desert and tried to find God. And he lived there quite a while. And he still didn't get satisfied. He still didn't feel like he knew why he was here and why did he keep making mistakes. So he decided after he got out of the desert that he would become a monk. And this way he would punish himself by becoming a monk and living his life only for God. And to his amazement, he found that it brought him more joy and peace than ever in his whole life. And so people would ask him, how are you like this? And he would say, he would tell them. And several people heard about it from far away, and they would ask him to write them a letter and explain it. And so he did. And that's how the book came about. It wasn't that he wrote a book. He just wrote letters to people who asked him how he was the way he was. And the amazing thing about it was that he actually lived very long. He was, I believe, in his late 80s when he passed away. And 300 or 400 years ago, to be alive into your late 80s, almost 90, was unheard of. So even on his deathbed, he had peace. And he was still talking to people. And he was very excited about seeing God face to face. And to this day, you can find his work for free on the internet, like I did, print it out. You can also go on Amazon and find it for free on Kindle. And you can also buy books that have been printed, and they're very cheap. And so I've been working on this because in these kind of days, life is very crazy. We have technology that speeds everything up. We have fantastic tools to use in the kitchen and the house and at work and with children and tons of knowledge. And yet we're not happy and we don't have peace. And we need to find that peace that only God can give. And how do we do it, right? So anyway, read the Bible, especially the New Testament. The Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John are excellent books to start with. They're Jesus's words in it. And for some reason, to me, when I read Jesus's words, I get different things every time, and it's very warm. It's very personable, the words that Jesus spoke. You can feel him standing there sometimes. Sometimes his words are upset. Sometimes he's angry. Sometimes they're just loving. Sometimes they're sad. He's very sad when people are hurting. But those are all wonderful books to read in the Bible, plus the rest of it, of course. However, when it comes down to it, a Bible is not going to completely give you peace. It's knowing God. It's having your soul commune with God. And that's what Brother Lawrence had found out. And I believe that many other great people who were close to God, who had strength and courage and peace, extreme peace in terrible circumstances, they had found this. They had found out how to get close to God. And all it is very simple. It's being in the presence of God, realizing that every second of your day, your soul can be in communion with God. Now, if you're like me, you have a lot of things to do all day long. And it's difficult to remember all the time that God is with us 100% of the time. And we're the ones that forget, not God. God never forgets. He's there. And when we call on him, sometimes he shows up as himself. Sometimes it's through another person. Sometimes it's through a song on the radio. Sometimes it's through the birds or the trees or a wind. Sometimes he's quiet because he wants us to get closer to him. So I'm going to try to work on this YouTube video sequence, whatever, and teach you, if you like, how to get in the presence of God, how to be continually with God and experience ultimate joy and peace that comes along with that. And along the way, I hope that I get that way too, because I'm working on it. I'm just where you are, or even maybe less than where you are. You may be far ahead of me on the path to God. And feel free to leave comments. As Christians, we should encourage each other. So please, critical shouldn't be there. But God bless you. And if you like this, come back. Talk to you later. Bye.